I'd like to know your point of view. Let me ask.
We don't often talk about the spiritual aspects of what happened with our narcissistic abuse. We don't usually talk about whether this was just a thing that happened, just an abusive situation, or whether it was actually the beginning of a dark night of the soul spiritual experience. We're not usually talking about a simple breakup. We're not even talking about a bad breakup. We're talking about something that takes you to your knees. We're talking about something that basically ends your life. It ends one life and is the beginning of another life. For me, for instance, the whole thing started with a near-death experience where I literally died of a heart attack. I survived something that was basically unsurvivable, so that I could watch my entire life get dismantled by the people that I loved and trusted the most. Had not had the near-death experience before all this happened, I doubt I don't know what I would have done. But because I had that glimpse into the truth, into what's really real, it was enough to keep me going. And I had this nugget that said I had everything that I needed. I saw connection. I saw all the answers. I didn't remember them all anymore, but I knew they were there. And that there was connection, there was answers, and it did make sense that it was ultimately happening for me. But it was incredibly, incredibly painful and very, very scary, and all of that. It just sound like all narcissistic abuse is a spiritual awakening, because that's not the case. Everybody here who's been narcissistically abused is not going through the dark night of the soul. But I do believe that a lot of us are. It might be going through a dark night of the soul. It may be more than just an abusive situation. It may be more than just bad luck. It may be the setup for a whole shift and a whole change in your life. And so, the first thing that you should do is try and identify that, if that's the case, so that you can lean into it, get on your own side. Someone who's going to be a spiritual teacher of some kind, who is here to change the collective consciousness in some way, teach something, relieve some pain somewhere in some way, you will most likely have a pretty intense dark night of the soul, and maybe a few of them. And it's not unheard of to have, several in a lifetime. When that happens, the first one is always the hardest and the longest and the most painful times. And that's because after that, you are less attached. You've let go of your ego. The ego it wants to hold on. It wants to keep you the same. It wants to hold on to what it knows. And so letting go of that the first time will be the most intense. It will be the hardest the first time. After that, you're a little bit more elastic, and you have been through it once. You recognize what's happening, and so even if you still resist it, you come to terms with what it is fast. 5 important qualities to remember. One is that it happens quickly. People talk about that they went to bed one person and woke up a different person, and it was almost like that in my case. For me, what has happened with the heart attack, I was dying, and my life never recovered. It was a direct trajectory from that point on to, it just kept getting worse, until 4 years later, my life was completely unrecognizable. So temporary, that's the other thing. So it happens quickly, but it's temporary. So all the depression, the confusion, the being lost and stuck, all of those feelings, all of that is temporary. It's also irreversible. There is no going back. And also you can't, even though there is free will, you can't stop it from happening. So you can slow the progress. You can make it painful and difficult on yourself by resisting it, or you can make it ease it by leaning into it And there's some exercises I'm going to give you that help make it easier and help it pass faster. But you can't stop it, and you can't reverse it. There is no going back. Okay, so point four is that it does happen. It can happen multiple times. It accelerates your growth, your spiritual growth, and each time that it happens, it will be less dramatic. It is for your benefit. It is for your benefit. So this doesn't happen to you. It happens for you, and it is a co-created experience. You co-created this situation, and I can see that. I can see clearly how I co-created it. I mean, I can see clearly that it was the perfect storm. But I was very much an accomplice in it. It really required my participation to have the devastating effects that it had. It took my denial, it took my magical thinking, it took my low self-esteem, it took my having an abusive family, a place where you end up having a more joyful, a more love-filled life, a more purposeful life, a life where you are truer to yourself and truer to your calling. And it's a life that you could not possibly have lived without this dark night of the soul. It is for people that came to this life with a mission of being a teacher. In my case, it was definitely aimed at someone who was really lost. If you're going through a dark night of the soul experience, this is what you might go through. These are the feelings you might have. That you prefer solitude. Nothing you do, you can't cheer yourself up. You can't make yourself happier. You feel cursed. You can't believe the bad things that are happening. And they're happening just one after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's worse than your worst nightmares. Or even could imagine that they would even be possible. You know what it is to suffer. And this changes you, and this changes your ability to experience empathy. You were empathic already, but this makes your level of empathy much, much greater. You experience indecision, indecisiveness. You can't make any big decisions. You don't know anything for sure. Your black and white thinking is completely gone. Whereas before in your previous life, you may have been kind of a black and white thinker. Not anymore. Now everything is bunches of shades of gray. You can't be sure about anything. You feel stuck and lost. You don't relate to anyone anymore. You feel like you are on the outside looking in. You don't feel like you just don't relate to anybody. You don't feel like anyone understands you, and you don't know how to get from here to there. You don't know how you're ever going to get back to normal, or how you're ever going to get to feeling good again. And the reason for that is because you've lost your script. The reason you feel lost is because you no longer have the script that was dictating your life, that told you the rules of engagement, that told you who you are and who everybody is and how things work and what the plan is. You don't have that anymore. And so that's why you feel lost. And you feel stuck because without that you don't know what to do next. You're not afraid of self-annihilation. You are no longer afraid of self-annihilation, and you don't care at all what people think anymore. So things that you would have thought would just be devastating at some earlier point in your life now don't matter. Like, for instance, I got in the middle of all this, I was basically having a nervous breakdown and I got arrested, and this did not matter to me at all. There was no shame, there was no embarrassment. There were interactions with people aren't like they once were. You don't care about impressing people or being liked. The ways that you can get through this and not have it be as painful and as drawn out as it was in my case. Grounded. So how you do that is you stay in your body. Don't do things that will take you out of your body. And actually taking really excellent care of your physical body is a really good way to stay grounded. This is a good time to really baby yourself and be the nurturing parent that you didn't have. Get through it with less pain and faster, or having it be more painful and longer. Really all it is. Everybody has a dark night of the soul. But if it is happening to you, it can take anything from days even, or weeks, and oftentimes years. In my case, it took years. You want to ask for help, and I'm talking about asking God or asking your spirit guides for help. Ask the universe for help. Ask for spiritual help. And some of the best prayers are simple, please help me, and thank you. Expedite the process. One is to start paying attention to yourself, your inner talk, and stop the negativity. So try and make sure the things you are saying are positive and hopeful. 2 is say some of these old comforting things, like you tell yourself everything is okay. This too shall pass. This is for your best good. Make you a better person. This is good for you. You've got this. Those kinds of encouraging things. Say those while you take a walk. Say those while you take a shower. Say those many, many times a day. Like I said, it is by design a solitary process. And you will, when it's over, you will be perfectly comfortable alone. You will have learned to be a good friend to yourself. You get to be very self-contained, and self-soothing, and that's a good thing. You change in that. By the time when you come out of this, you still recognize that you need people. And you still like people and want to connect with people, because we are social animals. But you no longer need people the same way. You can rely on yourself, and this does a lot for your self-confidence. Be grateful. 3rd is to be grateful. Purposeful life, a life where you are truer to yourself and truer to your calling, and it's a life that you could not possibly have lived without this dark night of the soul.